Hey folks, welcome back to another edition of the Republican Vision series here in the Maine legislature. This is Trey Stewart, the Republican leader in the Maine State Senate. I'm joined today by my friend and colleague, State Senator Joe Martin from Oxford County. Joe, thanks so much for joining us.
Only a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
So, Senator Martin, you serve on the Environment and Natural Resources Committee as the ranking Republican there. Lots of moving parts on that committee, and a lot of what our colleagues on the left are advocating for and using as justification to make a lot of different policy decisions that have a lot of impact on Maine people and business. Let's talk about some of those.
Well, Trey, it's an uphill battle on the E&R committee every time we get in there. There's no working together unless you're working towards their goals. The goals for the Maine people are pretty much out the window for things that have to do with their green agenda and their climate issues.
I think the climate hysteria, which is a term I think that you've coined, or at least I've heard from you before, Joe, is driving and dictating a lot of the decisions that get made down there as it relates to policy for Maine people, and in fact are making it a lot harder for Maine families and businesses to get by here in the state of Maine. One of those major decisions earlier this year was about the mandate to shift to entirely electric vehicles, and that was a big battle that you guys had down there. Tell me a little bit about that, Joe.
The electric vehicle thing was put together by people that weren't elected, by a board that was only probably 15 or 20 people, and they tried to ram through regulation to make every one of you buy an electric car by committee and not using the legislature and taking all of the legislative power right out of the whole thing, and that was stopped. It's really amazing to me that they want all these electric cars, and Maine has probably the best deposit of lithium in North America, and they were vehemently against just taking the ore and shipping it out of state where it wasn't going to be processed here to help do these cars. The people in Andover, where this deposit is, and up in Newry, had 6 mills at one time. The same people that didn't want the mills and shipped them away don't want the mining. It's good jobs. It's $50,000 to $75,000 jobs for probably 20 years.
There's a lot of clickbait. There's a lot of misinformation that gets spread by these groups as justification for why they should exist and why people across Maine should even give them more money. But then they go out and testify and spread misinformation about really important things that have a profound impact on our economy and our potential future here as a state. And it's not unique to the Environment Committee, but I do think that that committee has the lion's share of those NGOs and nonprofits that are engaging in that sort of behavior.
We definitely do. And it doesn't make any difference if it's mining or it's garbage, and where we're going to put our landfills for the next 50 years. We took a tour as a group about a month ago up to Old Town and looked at that landfill, and it was almost, it sounds funny, but it was almost like a ballet of equipment. Everything was working spot on, and it was a first-class, #1 operation. Now, the environmentalists that want to close it down. There's no need to close that thing down. We need that, or people in every town in Maine are going to start paying more and more and more for getting rid of their garbage. We need to stand up and say, enough is enough. We're taking care of the environment. They're climate change advocates that just keep taking billions of dollars every year out of our economy need to stop. We need to stop it, and we need to stop it now.
The difference between Republicans and Democrats in the legislature right now is that what I've seen is the Democrats just kowtow to whatever misinformation the NGOs and the nonprofits that are trying to scare people into giving them more money testify to and share on the internet as gospel, when it's really not. Republicans, on the flip side of that coin, do care about the environment. I mean, small c, conservative, right? That's what I consider myself. I care about the environment because, again, that's where the foundation of our economy comes from, right? The natural resources in it, and we do need to protect those and be smart in how we use those. But trust the experts, right? Trust the folks that are actually out there that are doing things effectively, to your point, running businesses well in Maine as the model that we could be following to not just protect our environment, but also have an economy that thrives here in Maine, creates jobs, and creates a future that we can all prosper in.
Trey, you and I both got 17% from the Sierra Club and a bunch of different people. And the only thing that we went along with that they were trying to do was the PFAS contamination that was down in Brunswick. Yeah, it needed to be cleaned up. Yeah, they needed money. Yeah, they needed help. We went across the aisle and we did that. For the rest of the stuff that I basically got blasted on, and you did as well, it wasn't good for Maine. It wasn't good for the taxpayers. It wasn't good for your pocket. And I will continue to stand up for the people of the state of Maine every time I can.
Senator Martin, thanks so much for your leadership on the Environment Committee. We appreciate all of your hard work. I know it's not an easy task down there. Thank you for joining us today and painting for Maine people a different perspective of what it could look like here under Republican leadership and the vision that we have for the state going forward.
Everybody has to understand that we're here for them.